Darth Maul got a buff, or is this just more clickbait?
What's that?
Darth Maul got a buff, or is that just clickbait?
All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Alliance live show number 101. We had quite the party last week. We were able to get Urzatron to join us, and of course, some of the uses. We did have Grande Patron on as well, obviously with Ranger, Avi, and good old Maurice as well. So it was a great show. It was a great time. Thank you for everybody that made it out last week, and anybody that watched the episode on replay. We're going to go ahead and talk about a little bit of what went on over here over the weekend with the Grand Arena Championships and some of the buffs, I guess you could call them, to some of the characters like Darth Maul, etc. But before we get into that, let me go ahead and introduce the co-hosts for the show today. As usual, my good friend, good old Maurice. How you doing, buddy?
Good evening, everyone. What's up?
What's going on, brother? Also, we're joined by Avi Avanesh. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
Of course. And the host with the most, we got RangerJ1999 with us as well. How you doing, Ranger?
Yeah, what do you want?
How's it going?
Do you need something? Oh, we're doing something. Oh, okay.
So Ranger joins us from Reality Skewed Gamers.
I am.
And also we have, obviously Maurice from Operation Metaverse. Both channels are linked in the description. So, guys, if you haven't checked out those channels, definitely make sure to do that. But before we get there, though, guys, let's just talk about what's going on with the... before we get there, well, let's talk about the Grand Arena Championships, or lack thereof. So, Maurice, what was your take on this weekend? What do you think about the fact that they had to cancel it and restart? What exactly happened, first of all?
It came out. For some people couldn't access it. Some people were in there fighting away and practicing and stuff, and it just was a bad rollout, pretty much. And they shut it down, and then just sped up the the entry, or excuse me, the end of it, and just kind of fast forward it to the end. They're gonna try again tomorrow. You know, we've said for 2-3 weeks on the show here. I mean, this is like an open beta, and that's what it was. It came out, it was broken. You know, no one really spent too much. I mean, how long does it take you to really set defenses? I mean, that's really about all anybody had invested in it. So I mean, they shut it down before things got out of control. I don't think anyone got any sort of extra reward, maybe some credits after like a successful battle, perhaps. I didn't get to play it myself, but I think we'll see. They said we'll get like something for our time compensation. They're just gonna try it again. So it's kind of a letdown. You know, I mean, that was kind of disappointing. Everyone was super excited about it, and just kidding, guys. But hey.
As you can see on screen, I got all of 1 credit for the Grand Arena Championships.
Mhm.
I got 3.
I got 3 too.
I got 3 whole credits on all my accounts. I was so excited about it.
Well, I mean, we all deserve these rewards. We deserve them.
Mm-hmm.
We earn these rewards. So, you know, listen, you know, for all you guys out there setting that defense, maybe playing on offense. So, I mean, from what I understand, the post says that they're going to be giving everybody the rewards that they deserve from the championships. Does that mean that they're going to wipe the slate clean now? Is somebody like feeding a gremlin back there or something?
I know that it's an exhibition anyway. It's not like the real thing.
It sounds like it sounds like there's like a mouse on a wheel in the background or something. Am I going nuts? Somebody's like,
no, you're going nuts. Yeah.
Somebody's like either chewing on something or whatever.
Oh, I ate an M&M. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I didn't know it was that
wasn't
loud.
me.
You know.
I thought you were talking about like a mouse powering the server or something.
Yeah, I was like,
That's what I thought too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had no idea he was talking about
Like,
like,
damn,
somebody
look at,
making a noise.
Look at Remon with the haiku.
The haiku? No, I'm not that creative. No, but no. As far as that goes, so yeah. I mean, do you think everybody's going to get their? You think this means that the slate's going to be clean? Like everybody's 0-0, like no wins, no losses.
Yes.
Honestly, they've got to. Yeah, they've got to, because that was just a cluster. You know, well, they won't
Dumpster
extend
fire.
that
Say
word.
dumpster fire.
Dumpster fire. Yes. On that, it was just a fiasco from the get-go. It took me a very long time to set my defenses, because you know my rosters have expanded and I've upped some stuff like the separatists and everything else. And so it took me a long time to do, okay, yes, all my accounts. And I did opt all of them in. And I should have gotten more than 3 credits. But at the same time, it should be reset completely to 0. You know, nobody should be keeping anything out of that. So.
Well, they're not going to be able to take that stuff away. That's too many people that got stuff, right? What they should do
exactly
is anybody just assumed everybody won, give them what they would have got, which is credits, right? Then wipe it to 0, start again, and then there you go.
Yep.
So if you give them the credits they would have earned or anything else they would have earned for that first round victory, that's what they should get, and then move on. You know, that's a fair trade, in my opinion.
Did anybody receive like the credits? Like, do you get any of these store credits for achieving fleets? 'Cause I know a lot of people got the 15 fleets.
Yeah, people got fleets and they got other stuff. I was almost done with mine to get.
I was almost done with mine. Yeah, to get
you get
those,
the in-game
that fleet.
currency. You get the in-game currency from that, or just the banners? Okay.
You got both. I think you got you got both. I think you got the stuff to level your stuff in the Grand Arena, and you get some of the currency, I believe.
Yep. So I don't know if that's gonna, like, for example, if I had like 14 out of 15 of those fleets, I don't know if that's gonna remain for this next one, or it just wipes it out to 0 and I have to start all over with 15 again.
So yeah, I think
so I don't know.
Probably going to go to 0. It's like start again.
It's going to be it's going to be a brand new tournament. Oh, brand new board, brand new opponents, brand new feats, everything. But just I guess a handful of people might have gotten maybe 4 to 1,000 extra of the guild store currency. Maybe. I mean, that people are getting upset about that. It's really not that big of a deal. I mean, it's like somebody will have maybe their first Gear 13 piece, an hour or two before you. It's not, it's not
Oh my
Not the
god,
end
I'm
of the
going to
world.
quit over that. Yeah, I'm going to quit over that because somebody got it before I did. Oh my god.
Well, don't you?
Mine was one of the bugged ones, so I couldn't even play. So
Don't you want to be the first? Don't you want to be the first ever Gear 13 in the world, Maurice?
No, I don't care.
Maurice
I'm
doesn't
gonna sit
care.
on that stuff. I'm gonna sit on it and see. Let everybody else decide. Make the decision for me. Like, let's see what's good.
Most Mike says that he's asking if Urs still plays the game, and
I'm pretty sure he does.
He's being coy because of last week when I asked if Grande Patron still played the game.
Well, I didn't know if you knew this, but he is still playing. Yeah.
And Grande's still playing, right?
Yes, he's still playing. As far as I know, of last hour that I checked, he was still playing the game. Yeah.
45 minutes ago, Grande was still playing the game.
Still playing the game. We have an update. Yep, he's still playing.
Listen, anything can happen, okay? People quit. People come back.
Mm-hmm.
People go on hiatus.
Sure.
I mean, I could take a 5-minute break.
A meteor could come out of nowhere and hit me in the head. You don't know these things.
Urs was able to stream his Galactic War Championship, his Grand Arena Championships.
Yeah, he was able to get in and get the battles done. I mean, it didn't affect everybody. A vast majority were affected, but there were some that were able to play their matches. So he wasn't too happy about it, though, because he's like, I'm going to do all this.
Because here's the wonderful thing is that in one of the groups, I had 2 of my accounts. I was going to fight myself.
Oh.
And then I was going to record it. It's Avi versus Avi. I thought that would be so fun to do.
That would be fun. Who do you cheer for? You don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Who's going to win, Avi 3 or Avi 4? So, everybody in that little shard with me, that little group with me, were like, "Is that you?" And I went, "Yeah."
Yes, it is.
Yeah, that's kind of disappointing. So, I mean, yeah, the rollout was a little disappointing. I mean, listen, things happen. It's okay. Most of the time, their rollouts are pretty good. So this is just kind of a bump in the road here. I think that if they handle it correctly, it's not a big deal. As long as
I'm sorry, Nathaniel Morgan said that he got 40 currency total. So
give it back.
Yeah, we're gonna have to go into your account and remove that.
You should give one to everyone.
There you go. Everyone in the chat tonight, just give them one of those, and we'll call it even.
Yeah, there you go. Science.
But no, that's to be expected. I mean, I sometimes there's hiccups when you roll out stuff. I mean, it really stinks when it happens to a competitive game mode, because it's like, there's no way to really just like make everybody happy, because some people put effort into it, and that's just the way it is. I mean, in other games that I've played where there is a competitive aspect to it, like there's been like, tournaments that have gone on for, for like a top box prize, between different guilds, where like all of a sudden the scoring gets screwed up or something happens, and they have to like stop the whole thing and restart it from scratch. But if you already spent money and you already put in, like, let's say, a certain amount of effort, you basically get almost nothing for that. They just give you like a reward box that says, sorry for the inconvenience, and then they restart it or they cancel it altogether, and then you have to start from scratch. And then some people, like in other games, there's like, you have to like store up energy and things like that in advance of certain game modes or content that's coming up, tournaments, things like that. And then you get, if you go in and use all your energy, you don't get it back, afterwards if there's a screw up or something like that. So you just kind of lost whatever advantage that you had going in. So that kind of stinks too. So I mean, like I said, this, as long as they handle it correctly, is okay. It happens, but I'm saying, it does kind of stink. And I understand anybody being upset if they, put the effort in and then they just didn't get, they didn't get rewarded for that effort, But they said they're going to give everybody their rewards. So I mean, hopefully, I guess that means if you won battles, you'll get rewards for those battles, or.
We get free stuff. We get free stuff, and everybody got 3 or 4 extra days to really work on the roster. Think of all the super casual people that didn't even know this game mode was probably even coming. You know what I mean? Like they play the game, they're like, oh, what's this? And now they got time to actually maybe get into the game and start playing. Well, who knows?
See, yeah, and it's not my favorite game mode at all. I've played enough games over the years with hyper competitiveness that just am totally. I don't mind a little bit of competitive, but not hyper competitiveness like this. And it's like, you know what? If I go in and play it, I will. If I don't, I don't. I'm definitely not doing it on all my accounts. I'm just going to do maybe one, maybe two here and there. To me, it's like, oh, it's no big deal. So granted, you get the rewards and stuff, and and I'll probably be behind on a few things, but as it is, I'm falling behind on everything else anyway. So I would rather just play it the way that I want to play it and not have to worry about it.
What about these boosts that they gave to characters during the week? So they kind of explained a while back that they were going to be rectifying some characters from when the game came out. Like, so original characters like, Kit Fisto, Darth Maul, characters that didn't properly get allocated, I guess, protection and health. Or maybe it's just protection. I forget. Anyway, there's going to be basically like an equalization of the protection for some of these characters, and apparently some characters got really beefy because of it. So one such example was Darth Maul, for example. So I believe he got an additional 20k protection or something like that.
I've actually, give me 1 second, guys. Here, I'm going to post this. This is actually, somebody posted this in Discord. It's all the characters' protection pre and post updates.
Yeah,
I posted that in the chat. If
I'm not mistaken, I think Darth Maul got the biggest.
145% boost.
Yeah.
You got 18,569 protection. That's crazy. New gun ready. Urza. Urza's gonna like this. Lobot, 4 and 5 or 3 and 4. Jawa 5. Biggs is up there. Bunch of the old original characters. Basically, any character that was released, I think there's some Jawas on here. So it probably pre-Phoenix, I think, is what they said. Something to do with Phoenix. Any character that was released before that got it. All the new characters didn't get any change. So
now, for specific characters like Maul, what does this mean? Even, I mean, does this mean that he's now more usable? I mean, he was kind of out of the meta, but I mean, do you think that now you might consider him as a more viable option? Let's say as a 5th Sith on a Traya team or something like that, for example. I mean, like, what do you think this does to affect Maul, if at all?
Well, he'll survive one more hit, at least, on that. So, he was so incredibly squishy before. His protection just really sucked. And I'm glad that he's going to get another boost. It'll be fun to chest him out, maybe have him as a lead on a Traya team and see how well he does this time, because he did okay before. Now I'm wondering if he'll be a little bit better as the lead again. So it'll be fun. Be fun to try out.
That's a big. He's got almost the same size protection pool. He's 3,500 or so less than Traya. You get Trey up to 70,000 protection if you put some effort in. So you could. So I mean, this is 145% boost that those 23.5% protect. All your protection percentages are going to get boosted by too. So this. I mean, that's a good idea actually. 5th on a Darth Traya team, because I don't really have anybody for that kind of role. That could be something cool. At least survive.
Right, that's what I mean. I mean, your main concern with Maul on that team is that, he's going to die super fast. So, like, if Jedi Knight Revan comes and whacks that Maul, or, I mean, I'm not even saying Jedi Knight Revan, but anybody who hits that Maul, I mean, he's out, right? So this might give him, survivability past the first or second wave. And then if he gets into that, like, stacking health situation with Traya, he can become, I think, a lot more of a threat.
Right.
Yeah, looking at my Maul, he has 40,000 protection now.
Yeah.
Not too shabby. No health, but tons of protection.
Another one that we were discussing here is Newt. So Newt Gunray, what do you think this means for him? I mean, he already has seen an increase in viability here because of the recent rework. So do you think that this increase in protection boosts Newt Gunray significantly in any way?
I think this would be big time for the territory battles. I think this would come very, very handy for that.
Yeah, I think that it's definitely going to be needed for territory battles.
And this is another topic I wanted to discuss with you guys. Okay, now, we had tossed around the idea prior to the stream of doing like a top 5 characters for Geonosis Territory Battles. And, Maurice, basically said that, we don't have that list yet of characters, and it doesn't make sense to do that yet. And he's right. But I want to start to at least speculate a little bit as to what we can expect, because we're at a point right now where I know there's probably a lot of other people out there like me right now that don't really know or aren't really sure about what to do right now. Because I'm kind of in a situation where I'm thinking clones. Okay, I'm thinking working on the clones because I think there's a reason for that. Obviously, I'm thinking separatist droids. Okay, I'm thinking, obviously Galactic Republic characters because of Padme and all that other stuff. I'm also thinking just separatists in general, like Nuke Gunray and, other characters because of the fact that, there's probably going to be some faction-specific nodes in this new territory battles. What are the factions that we think right now? So first of all, let's dissect this. Do you think that there will be a light side Geonosis Territory Battles and a dark side Geonosis Territory Battles?
Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And let's say for light side Geonosis Territory Battles, are we saying that Galactic Republic will be kind of like the empire of that?
Yes, I think so.
So there will be nodes out there that say Galactic Republic only.
Mm-hmm.
For dark side?
For light side.
For light side.
Light side, yeah.
Okay, now what other faction for the light side could be like, let's say, the equivalent of, let's say, Captain Han and Rolo for the light side territory battle? So we're going to be getting, the Geonosian Alpha. We're going to be getting the Wat Tambor, but we haven't been told anything about light side, right? So like, what are the characters going to be for light side for this territory battles? I mean, do you think it could be clones, maybe as the faction that we need for light side territory battles?
Would shock me.
Right. Yeah.
Like the troopers, make the clones the special mission you need.
Well, this is important stuff because, I mean, bear in mind, like, they could just drop territory battles on us and say, like, you have it 3 days. And then all of a sudden, now there's people that, they're not ready with their clones. They're not ready with their Galactic Republic. They're not ready with their, separatist droids. They're not ready with the, with all these factions. I mean, there's going to be, I'm sure, Nuke Gunray and these other separatists are going to be required. Count Dooku. You know what I mean? So, what do you think for dark side, for example? So we said that, definitely Galactic Republic nodes specific for light side. Most likely there'll be some nodes in there that are specific to the clones. What do you think about the dark side? Do you think we're talking Geonosian specific nodes? Obviously,
no, just separatists, but it may just be Geonosians. The 4 Geonosians we have right now you probably have to get Alpha in there or something. I mean, there's so many different directions they can go with it. We know it's going to be tied into anything Galactic Republic or Separatists for the Clone War era. So just assume that that's going to be the case. However, you can't farm everything. You just can't. So pick one or the other. You're going to drive yourself batty. For me, I'm still staying on target. I have things that I'm doing. I had goals that I set. I was going to get my Malak 7 starred. I did that today. I got him Gear 12 plus. Done. Get Ahsoka 12 because that makes my Galactic Republic team. Done. Good. Now I'm going back in like, what am I going to work on? I got 2 bounty hunters. I got to get to 11. And then I'm going all separatists. They're all farmed. Most of them are Gear 9, Gear 10. I'm going to go back in and start gearing them. But I wasn't going to do the separatists ahead of what my plan was already. Just for a territory battle? Hell no. You can't do it. You'll drive yourself batty.
Well, what do you? Let's say right now you're standing there and you're looking at your roster and you're thinking to yourself, okay, do I continue to work on the Geonosian the Geonosians, the separatist droids, or the clones? What priority do you put those in right now?
Separatist Club or droids.
Yeah,
Droids.
I'm telling you.
Particularly B1, B2, particularly. And make sure they're Zated. And make sure they're Zated.
Yeah.
Raise your hand if you got your butt kicked by GG in TW or the fake Grand Arena. That team is the real deal now. No more CLS. No. That doesn't work. So that's like the majority of people are like, yes, I can try to grill.
Oh, I got my Padme team ready for that. I'm like, no, you don't.
Like,
you want to be all stealthy? Meet Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah, like that's the thing. You gotta decide. You want to use Padme against Darth Revan or Grievous now? Like Grievous is that good on defense. It's he's a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, you get a boost. You get a double whammy. You get a good PvP team, and I mean they're going to be required for this. Like I mean, Kerry pretty much said that they're going to be required on that podcast, right? So
Geonosis the Separatist droids.
Yeah, that team is awesome now. that little baby rework to 100.
So what do you think happens to people that don't have 7-star B1? You know, because that's a hard node to farm.
Well, they'll get there.
They'll get there eventually.
They'll get there, yeah. They're just not going to do very well this first time out.
Yeah, and I don't expect to.
Yeah, and a lot of people are thinking, I've got to be perfect and I have to be able to do this. It's a new game mode. People have to understand that it's going to take time to get your characters up there. We don't know what to expect exactly on that.
Yeah, I mean, you can't farm all 10 Separatists at once. You can't.
Right.
You know, and you can't gear them either. You know, and you can't, cut your nose off to spite your face. You know, I mean, I'm telling people, like, if you want to finish gearing Galactic Republic because that team is so good and keep farming your Separatists. So I'm seeing a lot of people that don't have Separatists done, like, farm your Separatists. Get your Galactic Republic done because you can use that in a lot more areas than, say, these other two teams for Separatists. They're good, but if I'm going to run a team, it's Galactic Republic. Mm-hmm. You're going to need it for Padme anyway, so it's a double win, but it's going to take you time. Just farm the stars. Some are easier to get. They're in the stores. They're not like Newt, some of these other ones that you can get out of the stores, not a problem. And then after you get that done, then go to your Separatists. I mean, unless you're like one of us old fogies that played the games in 2015, if you're a newer player, I don't expect you to have worked on the Separatists. Why would you have?
Right.
I would not expect you to have Dooku. Why would you have? You would have never even sniffed those characters. We did back in the day because when we first started, those characters were needed. There was the Dooku meta. So there's a lot of reasons why we have our characters where they're at. Not because we necessarily wanted to have them. They were just part of what you needed. And now that it's been passed, some of us, wiping the dust off the old characters, like, all right, Dooku and folks, let's get in there. I know you're a little brittle. All right, stretch out. Okay, stretch the muscles. Okay, I need you to go in there and do something. So I wouldn't stress. I mean, you'll get what you get, and you'll give a taste of what you need to do and what you need to work on, and then you can reformulate your plan. Especially if your guild is really wanting to do better in Geonosis Territory Battle. I mean, I'm in the 230 million GP. I don't expect us to get more than 24, 25, 26 stars. And I'll be happy with that. If we do, I'll be fantastically pleased. If we get 21, I'll be like, okay, know what I need to work on, and I'm already planning on doing it. So I'm not going to go crazy trying to finish it here because, what is it, the 26th? They said they're going to launch this thing Wednesday. So take it with a grain of salt, as Grande would say.
If we get 26 stars on the first one, I'll streak on the next Jedi.
Right,
like I'll be ecstatic if we get 26 stars.
We're gonna hold you to that.
Did you say you'll streak? I was just gonna say, Riemann, that I think we should hold him to that.
He's gonna tank now. He ain't gonna do that.
What
happened, good old Maurice? I don't know. I went in and they died.
Maurice has done a lot of things. I mean, he's jumped on your stream and he's done dances before. I mean, I don't.
Oh yeah, I'll sing for him. All I want to do is hear zoom, 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 and a boom, boom.
I don't want to.
Good old Maurice streaking.
I don't want to put it past
they said the guilds. I mean, you're looking for 20 to 24 stars. What they anticipated from guilds that are, comfortably beating the current dark side territory battle. That one, I mean, from a GP standpoint, it's difficult, and some of those missions can be difficult at the end. Like you mentioned earlier, like just the Empire specific mission, that mission's hard. You know, because you got to.
Yeah,
you don't have your 12 characters. Your host.
Yeah, like that's a tough
well,
one.
it's not just that, but they ask an overabundance of Empire tunes to platoon anyway. Plus, you have 2 Empire battles: the combat mission and the special mission. So you're if you platoon too many, you're screwed, blued, and tattooed on that one.
That's just a tough bat. I mean, you need all the characters to be very highly geared and well modded to beat that.
Well, you need
platoons. That's the problem.
Yeah, I like range trooper, or I'll put those in, you know, because I know I can beat it with what I got. But really, what you need for that special mission is Stark over 235 speed, so he goes first. If your troopers with IPD go first, you got it. That's really what it comes down. They can be gear 11, but it comes down to speed and the damage they've got. The other one, if you got Vader, Palpatine, and Thrawn running around, you're going to be just fine. But, you know, if I have to give up some of my Empire, I will. You know, I don't mind it so much now. But I can see at the lower levels that it's like...
Well, the nice thing is that at whatever level with the, you know, because there's certain tunes that you need, like for example, Shore Trooper or Death Trooper.
Yeah.
And... you know, for example, you go, okay, we've got an overabundance of these characters that we need to platoon. So, you know, one person will say, I will do the Shore Trooper, but not the Death Trooper. Because you need to have something that you can use in one of the battles.
Yeah, I'll get my Shore Trooper up.
And like, don't platoon both of them. Just platoon one good tune and make everybody else, you know, platoon something else. And I keep telling people, just platoon one thing that you desperately need, just one, and then everybody else does that and we'll be fine. And so far we've done really, really well with that.
Yeah.
Also, will there be a ship aspect to Geonosis Territory Battles?
I think there is because
you think
of
the 33 total
ship.
stars.
I mean, do you think it's a coincidence that they're releasing the General Kenobi capital ship at the same time? I mean, there has to be some ship element, right?
There has to be a ship. Yeah, there has to be a ship mode. Well, you consider too, it's 4 days long, so it's cut short. So of course we're going to have less stars than they would the regular Hoth battles.
How do you guys think this General Kenobi ship is coming?
We already got the leak to it. We already know how it's coming. What do you mean?
What's the leak?
That it's going to be in the store.
Okay, so it's going to be like in the store for currency that you get from winning the Geonosis Territory Battles.
145 to unlock.
Now, but before we jump to conclusions, you know, it could be. I mean, unless I don't know what the leak is. Maybe I just out of the loop too. But, you know,
I know. I was like that too. I was like, I don't know the sourcing of that, so I went and checked some sources on it. They're like, yeah, this is both BS.
Well, I don't know.
They said, yeah, it's true, and I was like, really?
Well, what I don't know is if we have to buy it from scratch, or if it's going to be like an event where we unlock it at 5-star.
No, I don't know that. I just saw the image. You know that it said 145.
Because if you have to carve that puppy from scratch. Oh,
we had to do that with Yoda. We had to do that with Wampa.
And honestly, is it a true picture?
As far as I understand, from what I've been told, yes, it's a true picture.
Oh, I'm not questioning the authenticity of the picture.
Yeah, I questioned
it first too. I was like, okay, what's the source on this and all this other stuff? And I had some people that I trust check it, and it was like, yeah, someone did a booby. So.
I love how, you know, we're getting like, we had like test accounts, and the big worry was, you know, leaks and all this stuff, and now they're just getting full screenshots of stuff that's happening behind the scenes. I wonder how that's happening.
Well, I mean, you know, you know, for a lot of us, I don't know, I can't speak for, I know Maurice, Reemon, you guys are, I don't know about you, Avinash, but we're under NDA, so I'm very mindful and respectful of the NDA, and I don't talk about stuff that I know. Some people get in there and they don't care. I mean, that's the problem when you have more of an open beta with people you haven't vetted, is that you don't know who's going to get in there and you don't know who's going to leak what. You know,
right?
So,
yeah, exactly.
It's unfortunate.
You know, if you understood how much of a topic of contention this was for such a long time within the Game Changers, you would understand like why this is frustrating.
Oh, I know. I totally understand. I've gotten the full breakdown of what all that stuff was, so I totally understand. I'm with you on that, Riemann. But yeah, the more people you have in a beta, even though they signed an NDA, I mean, some people that are just words, they don't matter. They're gonna do what they want, and I mean, CG doesn't really have any kind of recourse other than find out who it was and then banning them. But I mean, that's it. It's not like they're gonna do something. I mean, you just have to trust in people's integrity. So there you go.
Yeah, that's something you should take pretty seriously. It's one of those things where, it's not just for the game. I mean, listen, even if you're not somebody who has a vested interest in that, like somebody who's a YouTuber or whatever, if you're just a player and you're a beta tester, I mean, do you think if you do that, like, they're gonna ever invite you to do something like that again if they find? I mean, it's just one of those things where it's not worth the risk.
Some people it is. Some people just don't care about the risk. They enjoy the risk.
I know, and that just makes it tough for the rest of us who are under NDA, and that really respect of what it means. So. Oh
yeah, I mean we know all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
We ain't saying a damn word about anything.
Well, it's stupid. That picture that I guess was leaked. Everyone is going to see that for the first time at the same time. I don't feel like that picture really gave anybody like an advantage. Like like everyone's going to get it at the same time.
Well, somebody asked me like, "Are you going to get the ship, Ranger?" I'm like, "Hell no, I'm not getting that damn ship. I don't care if it's required. I have gear 13 on characters I got to get. I mean, that ship is not a priority. I don't care. They can make it a part of the mission, and then I'll be like, no, gear 13 is the priority." So
we're going to record this.
That's the next topic of.
I've already said. You can go to my other streams. I already said it. I was asked.
Who's going for the ship and who's going for the gear?
I'm not going for that damn ship. I am not. I would rather get much more out of the characters and
come August 20th, when the negotiator is unlocked for some people. They put it in Grand Arena, and you lose your Grand Arena if you don't have the negotiator.
I won't care because I'll be a raffle stomping them with my regular characters. Oh, you have the ship, but not gear 13. I win.
Did you guys, Did any of you guys see the footage from the Parliament when EA and Epic Games were in England talking to Parliament about loot boxes and stuff like that?
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, yes. Jesus. Oh my God.
It's crazy. So they
look so bad.
They call the loot boxes, or like what we would consider here like a chromium pack, basically like the surprise pack. They call it surprise mechanics. Right, so it's like a...
they try to package it under new wording, but you can word it how you want. How does it work? Well, it's chance or random, blah, blah, blah. Whenever that's the thing, then it is gambling. You can't change it. You can call a turd whatever you want. At the end of the day, it's still a turd.
Right.
What, you can package it.
We don't call it.
You can package it however you want to package it. When you look at it, it's still a turd. It ain't changed its dynamic.
We don't call them loot boxes. We call them surprise mechanics.
Yes, that's what the player base calls it. Like surprise, mother.
Yeah, I mean, it was like a really weird, I'm kind of, there's gaming is like I'm kind of half with the gaming companies and half not. I didn't really agree with half of it either. So I mean, some of it is like, it's like they're kind of absolved of some of the requirements to like check out, like, I guess the mental well-being of the gamers or players, on their end. And it's like there are people out there that play these games and they do it like in a healthy way. They play the games and they spend money that they can afford that isn't going to set them back financially for their lives. And then there are people that have a sickness or a
gone bankrupt,
an addiction, and they're spending money that they shouldn't be spending on these games.
Yeah, it's an addiction,
and it's an addiction, and they want to know that because over there it's like a different type of like like if there was like a press conference, like if you saw the press conference with like with what's his name from Facebook, you know who I'm talking about.
What, the owner?
The owner of Facebook, yeah.
What's his name?
Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you saw that when he was talking to the Supreme Court or whatever he was talking to, Congress. It was like, you know, they're not that. They do ask some hardcore questions, but they're not like they don't attack you. Like these guys in Parliament, like they just straight up, they're like, I don't believe you. I think you're lying. You know what I mean? It's like they're just like straight up, like, you know, like it's awesome. You know, it's totally.
British Parliament is brutal.
Oh, it's so hardcore. They're like, listen.
Have you ever watched a Parliament session?
Oh yeah.
And
oh man, just watch one, man. They go at each other.
They'll just
Older! The young lady. I said older! It's like, oh my god, they're going at it. How dare you say you bloody white? It's like, oh no.
Join on Sundays to listen to the last live show critiquing other nations' political.
It's great, man. I'm getting jealous. Chubukaki doesn't watch our streams anymore.
Chubukaki's in the stream chat. She just donated $5.
I know. I'm
Chubukaki, what's up?
I love me some Chubukaki, but
she said,
hey
doesn't. Guys.
I don't see her anymore in RSG. I just love this. Be shouting out Chubukaki. Just say, my girl Chubukaki.
Hey, Chubukaki.
I just like saying the name.
Hey, Chubukaki.
Chubukaki.
Yeah, that is an awesome name. And
it is.
She has
the first time I saw it, I cracked up. I was like, that's the best name ever. Chubukaki. And we were just in there in the street just going, Chubukaki.
and there's a TM afterwards, too, so it's trademarked. You know.
Oh, well.
Trademark Chubukaki, yep.
Well, if I use the name, I will make sure to put that in the description of Chubukaki.
Do you guys remember O Trademark, the player?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he was.
Oh yeah.
Was he the one that opened up packs for Ray with his daughter?
Yes.
Yeah. God, yeah, it's been a long time.
That's old days.
Back when Scab Ray was the meta.
I know.
You have her or you lose. Like, she was so good. Oh man.
But thank you very much for the donation, Chubukaki. Really appreciate it.
Chubukaki, you're amazing.
So
get your surprise packs, everyone.
Get your surprise mechanics, everybody. Go get a chromium pack. A chromium pack a day, keeps the bad vibes away, guys. Let's just look at it like that.
Or it causes strokes. Either or,
or that. So you could do better things with those crystals, guys.
You could.
But yeah, so let's move on. Let's get into the meta report real quick and the top 5. So
can we just say nothing changed and move on? Really, the meta report. That's a joke.
Really, it's just kind of a transition into the top 5. I don't like to just slide over right into the top 5 right away. So
you can do whatever you want, Riemann. This is your world, and maybe in your world, there's some sport. We gotta. Riemann, he's crazy. He's got a big old tree over there, and maybe in his world, he skips the meta and goes right to the top 5.
Well, maybe in my world, if I want to do what I want, we go do the meta report every damn time.
You can do the damn report however you want.
I'm just kidding. So, so again, like Ranger said, the one thing I do want to point out though here is we were talking last week about the possibility of just throwing in, let's say, between us 4 here, any random character and then making the meta report. So now Ray Jedi Training is at the bottom of the list with 4 people.
Okay.
With 4 people using her at rank 1. So the rank 10 is Ray with 4 people. Bastila Shan is rank 9 with 8 people. Mother Talzin is rank 8 with 9 people using her. General Grievous, same 9. Darth Treya, 10 people. Emperor Palpatine, 17 people.
Okay.
And then Commander Luke Skywalker, there's 28 people. And then other than that, it's Padme Amidala, Jedi Knight Revan, and Darth Revan. So the last 7 people in the top 10 are less than 30 people running those teams in Arena. There's less than 30 people running those teams. It's crazy.
It's craziness. Oh, this meta is ridiculous.
It's crazy. So
boring.
All right, so let's.
I do like the quick battles. I mean, that's the only thing. That's all I can say, man. It's like, well, you're either gonna win or you lose, and it's gonna be quick. It's not like the Gen 9 Revan, but that's about all the positive shit I can say about it. You know?
Yeah, it's pretty much just ridiculous. 6,184 Darth Revans in the arena right now. Let's go on to the top 10 squad members. That's so nuts, right? I mean, like it's like ridiculous. All right, and here it's again the same story, just Bastila with the Sith team all the way straight through, and then it's just the Jedi after that, with Grand Admiral Thrawn actually making his way into the team higher than Jolie Bindo. So Grand Admiral Thrawn's getting more use than Jolie Bindo right now.
Yeah, he is. To me, I just think it's easier to take him down. So. Like, don't replace your Jolie. It's like, I like it.
Yeah, I mean, there's some variations of different teams. I see a lot of people, substituting like Grandmaster Yoda in there if they don't have Darth Malak, or, substituting, for example, in like their Revan team, their Jedi Revan team, they'll substitute like. They'll substitute like Grand Admiral Thrawn or somebody like that. So, yeah, I'm seeing a lot of different teams. All right, so that's the meta report. We're going to move on to the top 5 for this week. So what we're doing this week is we're doing top 5 non-faction specific characters. So what this basically means is top 5 characters that you don't have to run in a specific squad. They're kind of universal characters, as in they can be used in multiple different teams, and they can be used in a lot of different applications. So who do we have here at number 5, Maurice?
Big furry beast, Wampa.
Oh,
Wampa's number 5.
Wampa?
Well, I mean, you can see right clearly in his name that he has no specific faction. He's just simply dark side. Attack. That's all he's got in his title there. He does massive amounts of damage. Just has dot synergy, daze. He has a self-buffing mechanic that really makes him just all around useful, especially in PvE content. He's gonna be very, very good for your new territory battle are coming out. He'll be very, very good for that. Any PvE content, it just can be built a multitude of ways. Just synergizes with so many things. Offense, defense, you can use him in undersized squads. The good old Rex, Wampa, Hermit, Yoda trio. That's a classic. You can take out a lot of teams like Ewoks and stuff. Phoenix maybe with just 3 and 4 man teams, including Wampa. just a very fun character to use. So, yeah.
Yeah, Wampa is definitely like a universal. Like you could pretty much throw Wampa in on like a Night Sister team as your 5th, or on a Treya team as your 5th. I mean, you can use Wampa in a lot of different applications.
Or if you can just be mean and use Rex Wampa and clear a team that should not be on defense.
Yep.
That's what I do with mine. It's like, oh, how cute you put Rogue One on defense when. Well, that ain't happening. I like your thought, DSP, but...
Oh, they didn't hear... Sorry. DSP said, can we get Snoke in the game before episode 9? I'm sorry, I was muted.
Oh, that's okay, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I don't think... I don't know. I think by episode 9 we'll get there. And then...
Well, we can get one part now and maybe the second part later on. Because he was cut in half. And move on.
We'll see. Maybe we'll get the first half and then the second half later. You never know.
Nobody laughed.
But thank you very much for the donation, DSP. And then Chubukaki made another $5 donation and says she agrees. She agrees with the Wampa. I don't know. Chubukaki's making the stream hot like fire again this week.
Oh, I love Wampa. Well, I got Wampa before I got
got
Hermit Yoda.
Before you got who?
Before I got Hermit Yoda, I got Wampa. He was like my main fluffy squeeze.
It's a pretty dangerous fluffy squeeze there, Evan. I should like. Wow, sad things.
That's a pretty dangerous fluffy squeeze for sure.
Not for having that. She's got that Wampa in check.
All right. Let's go on to the number 4 non-faction specific character in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, the number 4 universal character in the game, and that is Hermit Yoda. So just like you said, so Hermit Yoda, obviously somebody that does team heal. He calls in people to assist with his master's training. And, he just generally is a character that you can use in a lot of different ways. I mean, he's great on a Rey Jedi training team. He's great, obviously, on a Jedi team with Jedi Knight Revan. You could use him with Bastila lead. He's really kind of... you can really run him on a lot of different teams just to get the heal. He's also great for raids. What are your thoughts on him, Maurice?
Well, it's just right next door to Wampa. I mean, you can interchange either one of these characters. Like, you pick one or the other out of the guild store, you're not going to be disappointed. Just all sorts of... Just a constant heal, and it's not faction-based. If there are Jedi, they do get the Force side as well from his healing. It's an equalized healing move, so, heal immunity, like IG-88, Zeta, those sort of things won't affect it. It's just like Barris's heal. So that's very, very helpful. You mentioned the buff that gives all sorts of boost to the team. You can pass it all around, eventually just call all sorts of assists. And again, that applies to any faction, any character in the game. He's a fantastic raid character. The Sith raid first came out. You got to say that Hermit Yoda. You got to get Hermit Yoda out every phase and use him every phase. You can use him multiple times in the Sith raid, which is pretty cool. Just really a very, very nice plug and play. Arguably the best plug and play healer in the game. So,
agreed.
Lucky, found someone you have.
I was kind of waiting for that. I was waiting for it.
When I first when we first met with Jesse about the Game Changer program, like 2.5 years ago or something like that. So he had told us one of the big no-nos is don't interpret Yoda in any way on your streams, because Disney doesn't like that. That's what
really?
Yep. So there was certain, not much, but I mean basically the main specifics that we were told was just don't represent Yoda in any way that he wouldn't be represented by the company. Don't put him in a cartoon with the Ninja Turtles or something like that. You know what I mean? And then don't try to impersonate him. Yeah, that's what
they can kiss my ass, man.
Really?
Yep.
Really? Don't impersonate him?
Don't impersonate him.
That's the biggest form of flattery.
That is why they failed.
Ranger, that's strike 2, man. That's strike 2, Ranger.
Or with you cannot be done.
Yep.
Hear you nothing I say.
Yep. So, yeah. So
you called my bluff.
I mean, I don't do a Yoda impression anyway, so I was like, all right, I'm cool, So
don't you worry. That's why I'm here. Because I don't care.
Yeah, no, I get it.
It's not like I do anything wrong with him.
Right.
I could. Maybe I will.
Maybe you
Stupid
will.
Disney. Yeah.
All right, that's our number 4 universal character, non-faction specific character in the game. Moving along to our number 3. Who do we have here, Maurice?
Number 3. Good old number 3 is going to be General Kenobi.
GK!
Oh, yeah, General Kenobi. He's been married to Revan and now Padme for so long, people do forget that he is the ultimate plug-and-play tank. Way back, dating all the way to the Maul meta, it'd be Maul teams, Force Sith, and Kenobi. Kenobi has always been around. We talk all the time, episodes 30, 40, 50, 60, 80. Kenobi was always up there in the meta report. Never really drops off. Just the best tank in the game, and he just got better with a little touch-up they did to him not long ago. So, cleanse. He's got a AoE cleanse move that can convert buffs to debuffs to buffs and give you retribution. Got a very good defensive kind of all-purpose leadership. For newer players, he's very, very good in terms of defensive teams you can make out of makeshift characters. And just great. Just great tank. An assist move, just you can't really ask for. The game's probably the game's best tank. So
I'd appreciate him too, but I guess I'll get Disney assassins after me apparently.
No,
Screw it, I'll do it anyway.
Oh,
another happy landing.
Oh, another happy landing. Yeah. Chubukaki donated another $10. Thank you very much for your Yoda impression.
Oh, yay!
Yeah.
If you must, money I will take.
Yes. Thank you very much. That's very nice of you. So yeah, Kenobi, I mean, he is like the universal tank. I mean, like, these are basically the tank you can use on any team. You can never go wrong.
Light side, dark side, it doesn't matter.
No.
You can never go wrong with Kenobi as your tank. Never.
It's just that damn good.
I mean, maybe not in a Darth Revan team, but besides that, I don't know. I mean, I could be wrong, but I think besides that, I mean, like, he's just been such a staple of this game for such a long time, and yeah, I mean, he's definitely somebody you can just kind of plug and play anywhere you want.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, so moving along to our number 2. Universal character, non-faction specific. Who do we have here, Maurice?
Number 2 is none other than Nest. Nest is number 2.
Oh,
very, very.
Man, I thought for sure Nest would be 1.
Nah, it's tough.
I know who's number 1. I know who's one.
I think everybody does. It's either or. I mean, and I tried to put my personal bias aside. Nest is number 2, just because she can do so many different things on every team. She can, and much like Wampa, a great candidate to get some of these undersized squad victories in Grand Arena. She can take out good teams by herself. The clones, Shakti and the clones. She can take out lots of teams by herself. She can be built much like Wampa, a multitude of ways. Very popular, slow, super tenacious Nest. You can't stun her. You can't remove turn meter. She just goes and counters and basically counters your team to death. Or you can run the very fast. You see a lot of people run we talked about it last week. One of the teams in the top 5, Django lead with Nest. Nest leads AOE turn meter removal days, and your team just goes nuts. You can activate that Django contract instantly. It's very, very. She's very, very versatile. Debuffing or cleansing. Dispelling basic AOE days. She's got a stun with buff block. You can't really ask. She's got it all. So she's very, very stacking damage. All sorts of stuff. So very, very good character. Should be any new player should be getting to her node on the fleets as quick as you can and get her done. Very, very good.
Yeah, I mean, just somebody that you can really throw in as like a number 5 and really just always come through for you. The AOE days, the counterattack, the dispel. I mean, just the stacking protection. I mean, yeah, there's just so much you can say about Nest that makes her such a viable character. But the best part about her again is that she can be great in a team with Kira. Let's say it's faction specific, but then you can also use her with your Night Sisters. You can use her with your Jedi. You can use her with your Sith. I mean, you can use her anywhere you want.
Yep.
And she's ginger.
And she's a ginger.
So she's the chosen.
She's definitely the chosen one. So, so that's our number 2 universal character, non-faction specific character in the game. Moving along to our number 1.
Mob Enforcer.
Mob Enforcer would be a good choice here as the number 1 non-faction specific character, but we have, I think, the answer that everybody is expecting here, which is Grand Admiral Thrawn. So, obviously, he makes the top 10 on the meta report for a reason, and that's because he is somebody that just offers such great versatility. I mean, with his fracture, he can basically render a taunting tank useless. He does decent damage, but also, I mean, as a 5th character, I mean, just being able to dispel and then provide protection to another ally, plus turn meter, is bananas. So, I mean, he can basically, pick and choose, who you want to go next. and give them a nice big bonus and protection, and that could be great, especially if you have another tank on the team that needs some protection to heal back up again after they've taken some damage. So Grand Admiral Thrawn definitely deserves his spot here. Chubukaki again with a $20 donation says she'll be right back. Thank you very much.
Okay, she'll be back.
She'll be back.
And I do my impersonation, but I don't want the mouse coming after me. What's this about Ranger doing Thrawn? Little bastard, come here. Ah.
Thank you very much, Chibukaki. I very appreciate it, and we look forward to you coming back. But Maurice, what else do you want to say here about Grand Admiral Thrawn?
He's arguably the very best raid character in the game for any raid. Just the fracture mechanic is so. There's nothing like it in the game. It does so much. You can neutralize teams with it. You can take out tanks with it. You can, like you said, swap turn meter. You can have Thrawn go very, very fast. He does have a higher base speed. You can make him very, very fast. He can swap turn meter and give a very, very slow character the first turn. Like a lot of people were doing that back in the day with Traya, with Thrawn, and Death Trooper with the Magna Trooper. Just swap the turn meter with Death Trooper. He cleans all the debuffs and reduces the cooldown of the Magna Trooper. It's just, all sorts of combinations you can put him. He's a key part in countering Darth Revan with Jedi Knight Revan. I'm pretty sure it's very difficult to do without him in that team. He just always seems to pop up. Somebody in the chat here just says, pick a team. Yeah, most might. Pick a team and Thrawn makes it better. That's absolutely him and Ness both. Like if you can afford to put him on the team, like especially in defense, you don't see too many Thrawns on defense. But if you see him, it's tough. The team is automatically better. But yeah.
So, as always, we do have an honorable mention, and what I want to do is something quick here. I want to get as many guesses as we can in the next 30 seconds as to who the honorable mention is for the top universal characters, top non-faction specific characters in the game. So who do you guys think is the honorable mention here on this list?
Oh man,
Rex.
I'm not that familiar with the non-factions, but Cup.
Ew.
We got a guess for Chopper in the chat.
Oh, Chopper.
I was tempted, Nathaniel Morgan. I was very tempted. We got R2, Rex, R2, Rex,
I was
C3PO.
thinking Rex, but
Rex. We got a lot of Rexes, a couple R2s, a C3, and a Chopper, and a Chewie. Oh, we got Chewbacca coming in. Newt Gunray coming in. That's a good one. Rex. Rex is the clear-cut favorite here in the chat.
Huh? No one's voting for CLS.
Well, I mean,
Wampa. Wampa's number 5, Panda. Thanks for paying attention.
Thanks for playing, Panda.
but
throw Thrawn in there. I'll go Thrawn. Honorable mention.
Honorable mention is Thrawn, and Thrawn is number 1, and he's the honorable mention. Yeah, CLS is great too. Yep, Sunfac. If it were 2016, Mr. Arkai says it would be Sunfac.
No, Sunfac would be number 1.
Sunfac would be number 1 in 2016. That's for sure.
2016 called. It wants his honorable mention back.
yeah.
Raid Han, BB-8s. Okay, all right. We've got quite a few. Kylo unmasked. Okay, Visa Smar. That's a pretty good guess. Yeah,
That's a good one. Yeah.
yeah. Okay. All right. So the honorable mention, guys, is Rex. You guys who said Rex, you were right. Barris,
I know. Thank you.
Barris is another good one. There were actually a few here that when I saw them, I thought to myself, like, maybe they should be on this list. I thought when I saw R2's a really good non-faction specific character, but I mean, he really is faction specific because he gives bonuses to, like, he's in so many factions. So that's why he's so,
right.
But I mean, and then there's C3PO is also great, but again, he's also pretty much faction specific. So, Barris is a good one. I have to say, Barris is a really good one. Visa Smar is a really good one. Yeah, R2 just for light side in general is pretty good. But yes, the honorable mention is Rex, and I mean Rex. He's just the universal anti-speed leader. I mean, he's been for such a long time. Right now, he doesn't have a place in the meta because he just doesn't. But that could always change. Rex always finds a way to rear his face back into the meta again. And he has for a long time. He's just, obviously the tenacity up and turn meter is a tremendous thing. He reduces turn meter with his basic attack. He could do some decent damage, but the main bonus that he gives to, let's say, kind of a hodgepodge or a universal squad, if let's say you want to put together a team like Rex and Wampa and some other characters all together to defeat some teams in Grand Arena or TW, Rex, his leader ability is just so fantastic. I mean, he just gives turn meter to his allies, which makes him such a great counter to speed. You know what I mean? So, not only does he give the whole team turn meter, but, again, if somebody goes first with an AoE and crits a couple of times, everybody on the team is going to go next. And then Rex will then give everybody tenacity up, so you can forget about debuffs, unless you have somebody like B2 to dispel that on the other team. So Rex definitely earned his spot here. What do you think, Maurice?
Well, somebody just said Nihilus in the chat. I totally overlooked Nihilus. He would have made this list for sure, guys. But Rex, pretty much for all the reasons you've said. I think Panda mentioned Kylo Ren Unmasked. He was actually the first slot in here, but then I went with Rex. So Kylo Ren was a good one, too. That was one that was real tough. But Rex, just for no other reason, just that leadership, the turn meter on crit hit. So, I mean, teams like Darth Revan and stuff. There's so many teams that are... there's so many teams now that have such high crit chance. Well, passive, uniques, leadership abilities, just simply mods getting up to 16 now. Crit chance is really easy to get up there. So a lot of teams crit. He's always going to be a great leadership. Rex, Wampa, Hermit Yoda, we mentioned earlier. All three of these characters on the list, they're all three of them on here. Make for a great offensive undersized squad. An AoE cleanse that does tenacity up. Tenacity up is hugely important in this game. It's arguably one of the better, if not the best, buff that you can give your team. So it's just very, very good. His damage is pathetic, but he does remove a little bit of turn meter on his basic attack, which can be useful in maybe some of these new Shock T setups. You got a constant source of turn meter removal from all the assists and stuff. So it's a good kit. It's just a great leadership ability.
Yep.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Rex is a timeless classic, and like fine wine, he only gets better with age. So I'm sure he'll find his way back into the meta again at some point, maybe sooner than you think. With all this talk about possibly reworking the clones, and there's definitely some evidence to show that that's going to be the case. I mean, this didn't just rework the way these characters look and then, add abilities to their AI on defense for no reason. So I think that, there's some strong evidence that points to the fact that at some point these clones may, have some higher significance or relevance in the meta coming up. But, to what extent, we won't know until that time comes.
It doesn't.
It totally does have 16.
I call BS.
As a matter of fact, we're going to check that out here in a minute. Okay.
I think you could change it between now and then. Get out of here.
Okay, you're right. It'd be awesome if it just had exactly 16 speed.
I know.
That'd be great. So Dr. Gonzo H says 4-dot mod on Rex better has 16 speed. So yes, hopefully it does. Thank you very much for the donation. As you know, any
well played, laddie. Well played indeed.
As you know, any mod that's less than 6 dots on my roster has at least 16 speed. Okay.
You have 6 dots, huh? Okay, I didn't know that. Okay.
Listen, I've got the 6-dot mods. I've got the 5-dot mods.
Yeah.
I even at one time I had a 7-dot mod. You better believe it.
I know, right? I miss those.
Yeah, I miss those 7-dot mods. They took them away from us.
Some of those bastards.
And they just gave me credit. They gave me credits.
Oh well, I mean, there's that. I mean,
Yeah, I guess you can look at it that way. Now I have 100 million credits.
No.
So I remember a time when I bought those things with cash, and I just straight up credit purchasing. Anyway, that's our top 5 for the week. Top 5 universal characters. Top 5 non-faction specific characters, courtesy of the Alliance. Good old Maurice and the Alliance live show. If you guys do like that kind of thing, please do subscribe to the channel. It does make me feel a lot better and warm and fuzzy inside. And please do like the videos, because those numbers also make me feel warm and fuzzy inside. It makes us feel like we're doing a better job, and it just it's a great way to give the channel some more life, you know. But anyway, we're gonna go back to some gameplay, and while we do that, we will take some questions. So this is typically that time of the stream, guys, where if you have any questions or topics you'd like to discuss, you know, please do type them into the comment section. I'm sure Maurice has already scooped up a couple of them from the chat throughout the stream so far, and we will get to those topics and questions, you know, here over the next few minutes before we wrap up the stream. So do we have any questions from the stream earlier, Maurice?
We got one good one here. This is actually a good one for everyone. Mr. Wonderful asks, which team to go after first, Grievous or Padme? What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of leaning towards Grievous.
Padme, 1000%.
Abby?
I'm really torn. Man, I'm really torn on that, because I really do want my Padme team, but it's maybe a little less progressed than some of my droids, my Grievous team. So it's kind of hard for me to figure out which one I want to use. I really want to do the Padme. Because I want another DR. Yeah, I need another DR counter. So
I give you an example. I faced 120,000 fully Zetaed, modded in TW CLS team. You know, Zeta gear to the teeth, and I mean, totally just modded, right? And I went in there with only my Ahsoka gear 11. The rest were gear 12. I had the Zetas and everybody else, and Raffle stomped it like it was nothing. I mean,
awesome.
That team is just on defense. You have to use 3PO. Because 3PO can help alleviate some of the stupidity that the AI does. And I've seen that in TW and run into that team like, good Lord, what is this nonsense? It just calls me like, 3PO, stop doing that. It's awful. But on offense, Jesus, that team is sick. It is sick. That team, once it gets going, there's no stopping it. Mm-hmm. That Kurt starts stacking, you're one-shotting people. Like Ahsoka and Anakin, and you put crit chance and crit damage on those two. You make Kenobi as tanky as possible. You can't get past Kenobi because he's, you know, if you got the Zeta on him, you can't get past him. So you're constantly going after Kenobi, and they just go. And Ahsoka is now ridiculous. They start calling to assist one another, and you better at that team, man. Good heavens.
Yeah, I think I have one of my Kenobis is about 145k health and protection.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd say he's tanky.
A little bit.
just a little bit.
What do you?
He's
think?
not super fast, but.
What do you think, Maurice? Who should they work on?
Grievous. That team is awesome. Well, basically, look, both teams, Grievous and Padme,
they're good. They're both really good.
They beat everything except Grievous cannot beat Darth Revan, and Padme kind of struggles with Jedi Revan. So I think what you need to ask yourself is, what team do you need to beat the most? Like, if you already have a counter for one team, then I would develop the team that counters the other. That way you have two.
Right.
And I think we're going to... General Grievous is both teams are very, very good defensively. Unfortunately, the Padme team you have to mod very slow to beat Darth Revan. Both teams require very specific mods. Padme requires tons and tons of health, lots of health. Very clocked very properly. Grievous himself takes nothing but health. You have characters like B1 that only work on speed, offense, and potency. I mean, both of them are very similar in that they take very specific mods to the team.
Right.
Whatever team you want to invest in, do be ready to commit to a mod set that could likely never leave that team. Like they take very specific things to invest in. Both are very, very heavy investments, both gear and mods and all sorts of stuff. Zetas, they're both very Zeta dependent.
Yeah.
I would say I think you need
gear on Magna and some of those. Jesus.
Yeah, Magna's nasty to gear. It just unfortunately until it's reworked.
I got my Magna remodded to be as tanky as I could possibly get him with tenacity. So I'm kind of excited to start testing him out.
Yeah, because I mean, especially if you're countering Jedi Revan with that IG-100, like he's marked the entire battle. You just shred the team. Like it's very good Grievous's teams. I mean, they can auto Jedi Revan now. It's silly how good they are. There's Rebon doing his fleet battle for the day.
Yeah, I wanted to try it in TW this time, but our guild was just way too fast in knocking down the Revan teams. I went and had some lunch and checked my garden and came back, and they cleared the Revan wall, and I was disappointed I didn't get to use it. So next time.
All right. So we got some good questions now. Let's see. Why does Remon have 100 Zeta mats saved up?
Malik, maybe? I don't know. What do you have under mats?
I have 100 mats because I'm awesome.
He's trying to decide between Padme and Grievous. He can do them all.
Yeah, he can't figure it out.
Well, first of all, I did Zeta Grievous on. I already Zeta Grievous on his unique. I didn't Zeta his leader yet. Mm-hmm. No, I'm saving it because again, like I said, I'm kind of in a mode right now where I'm like, I don't know. I'm trying to make sure that when I make a decision on who I'm giving the Zetas to, that I'm making the right choice. And right now, because we don't have 100% confirmation on what we need for Dark Side Territory Battles, I'm just going to save my Zetas until that time comes.
Yep.
Did you just forfeit that PvP match?
Yes.
Why?
Give them dailies.
Because it's 12, it's 12:55, and I have to get this stuff done.
Oh, okay. I thought get the battle in real quick. I mean, they're fast.
That's why he has 100 Zeta mats, because he doesn't play arena. He just sends it.
First of all, I'm only let's see here. I'm only ranked 29. Okay, let's.
Just kidding with you, man. I'm just busting your chops.
I know.
Okay. Even in ships, I'm not. Normally, I'm pretty bad. Like right now, where am I? 187. Okay, that's not great. All right, but
we have seen lower.
You have seen worse.
Yeah, we have.
Okay.
All right. Let's kind of touch I'm against that Tarkin meta.
I'm playing that shit battle. What are you talking about? You talking about my opponents here in Fleet Arena?
Pretty sure I saw some 5-star hounds too.
Let's refresh and see if there is a 5-star houndstooth. There's a 6-star houndstooth right there.
All right. Show we talked. Ramon was talking about what do you think we'll need for light side. So this is kind of plays off that. You think new clones will be added for light side Geonosis TV? That comes from Kyrai MWs.
Oh, I think so.
Oh yeah.
Well, they definitely will add some new clones. I think. Yeah. I mean.
There's so many they can pull from that it's ridiculous. I mean, just if they were just to pull the clones that they have, like just say from since EA owns CG and stuff from Battlefront with the ARC Trooper and all the other troopers that are in there, and the different skins and stuff, I mean, they could have a smorgasbord of clones running around the map. I mean, oh Lord, there's so many possibilities.
Well, there are some named ones too as well. That could
Sure.
they could be the Geonosian Brood Alpha of the light side. Then maybe that's the character we farm immediately, or it could be the prize. You know, I could see a clone being either of the like specific characters for TB.
I want to meet the first Geonosian, the Geonosians.
The Geonosians.
Hey, the Geonosians.
The Geonosians.
That sounded almost like it was French. The Geonosians, yes.
The Geonosians. They're constantly creating their
Hold on,
They're
Geonosians.
the stupid queen. I spit on them.
Or if you're from the south, it's them there Geonosians.
Well, we got theirs. We got them. We got some of them Geonosians. Spread their kind of influence, them damn communists and Geonosians. We don't like that kind of bugs around here. We got our own damn bugs.
All right, you guys finished? Can we move on? Just kidding. Just kidding. Totally kidding.
Yeah.
All right, McFly 009. What's up, McFly?
Hey.
He wants you to run a gen lead. I'm just kidding. Is Darth Vader worthy? He loves some gen lead. That McFly does. Is Darth Vader worthy of gear 12 to 13?
First ship, not 13.
Gear 12, yes.
Yeah, not 13 at this point. No, there's more tunes that are so much better in that. I mean, granted, Vader is really, really good, but there are the teams and the tunes that are meta and are needed now.
We also got another donation from Chubukaki. She says that she's back.
Well, welcome back.
So
Welcome back. Thank
that
you.
was a few minutes ago. It was a couple minutes ago. I meant to interject earlier, but I forgot. I'm sorry,
wow.
Chubukaki. Thank you very much for the donation.
Yeah, McFly, I'd take him to gear 12, and then...
That's
no,
it.
not gear 13.
No.
No. I was trying to think of like a...
No. Don't
Down
do
the
it,
road.
Maurice.
Possibly with the inclusion
Down
of
the road.
Watt Tam.
Yeah, 60, 70 down the line.
That was about my placement, about 50 to 60 down the line. Yeah, then
Yeah.
consider it, but otherwise, no.
Yeah, we'll see what Watt Tambor starts popping on those dots. We'll see. We'll see. But no, don't do that. I'm being silly now. 7-star Padme, yeah, blah 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 blah. There was that's the 100 Zeta mats. How many guild event tokens to the special missions will we get? You think more than 2,000 for the last day? So we've seen the charts that reward the specific amounts per star, but we have not seen how much the special missions grant.
No, we don't know.
It'll be interesting to see if it rewards just that, or if it rewards both. Maybe a little bit of both currencies.
A little bit of this and that. Hey,
But
be nice. Remon, your Phoenix is getting by these Empire. I'm having flashbacks of my run back in the day.
I was just gonna say this is a flashback here.
Yeah, this is getting some PTSD from this.
I'm gonna finish it off. It's just I only have like 2 developed characters from the Phoenix, and that's Sabine and Ezra.
this is actually Ramon unlocking 7-star Thrawn for the first time.
Oh,
I was gonna say that's what it looks like. It's like, oh my god.
He's gonna get it, guys. He's gonna get it.
Come on, Ramon.
Got it.
Nice.
1 star.
Word?
7-star Thrawn. All right, so
After all these years, he's getting his 7-star Thrawn. Yeah.
He's the best around. Nothing working, keep it down.
let's see here.
Damn it, Remon, put some 5-dot mods on your Phoenix. God.
What are we doing? Hold on, you guys are typing and making me lose questions. All right.
I'm not talking.
Yeah. What are we doing with Newt now that IG-100 is back on the GG team?
We had to kill him.
Newt is hanging out, waiting on the Brood Alpha and Watt Tambor.
Yeah. I think he's gonna work better with them.
Yeah.
If
He's
you
still
are-
he's a still He's still a good replacement for Magna that for those that don't have him geared up.
Absolutely.
Newt is still really, really good on that team. But
What?
yeah.
What did you say?
Yeah. Then once we get the situation going, Newt's going to be very, very good for the head of the Geos. And then Magna can be back on the droid team.
Here we go with what? But if you can't, most players, I would say 90% of the player base, isn't really in a position to pull a Saj off of Night Sisters and make a team like that.
Oh, no.
So right now it's just Newt, Dooku, and 3 Geonosians to kind of pick off some of the Ewoks and the Kira and some of the lesser teams. They can beat bounty hunters if you commit the speed of Dooku. They can beat a lot of things, but we're talking Dooku has to go first. So I would build them, get them ready, and just kind of utilize them and practice with them against teams like Kira, bounty hunters, just not the crap, but the lesser teams. They're not very good versus first orders. Don't try that, but yeah.
I like it. I mean, I still think he's going to be good. I think he's going to be important for Geonosis Territory Battles too.
Oh, I mean, if you put a Saj and B1 with him and Dooku, it's one of the best teams in the game. But now, I mean, you're breaking up Grievous, which is arguably one of the best teams in the game now, and Night Sisters, which are another top end team. So it's just hang out with him, get to know him.
Almost there.
So
have some brunch.
So we got a question from Chubukaki. She donated another $10. Thank you very much. And she says, question, is Shakti required for Geo Territory Battles?
We don't know.
For light side already? I think so. I think
it's going to be required for the light side.
I would bet money she's going to be a platoon for sure.
Yes.
You're really going on a limb there, Ray.
If you want to be a superstar for your guild, then by all means, you drop that loot. But that's about all she's going to do for the new one.
I've only got her to 5 stars. Well, that's it.
Well, I think the whole Galactic Republic, she's going to probably be somebody you're going to need for certain battles. I mean, I don't know if she'll be required like as a specific character, but I think like the faction will be required, and she'll probably be. But there's no like definitive word yet, Chupacaki. There's no like answer yet. We don't know. They haven't announced the specifics, but I'm sure that stuff is coming soon. Because it's coming on the 26th. You said.
That's what they said. Yeah.
Yeah, you can see it in game now. Well, at least there's a territory battle coming up in like 3 days or so on the events. Like they already have it posted in guild events. So.
Oh, do they? Okay.
I'm not sure. Do you guys know if like. We have to opt in to make a decision, right? I mean, is there going to be a button? Is there going to be...
Oh, I'm sure there will be, yeah.
Okay, because I'm curious.
Yeah. Man, I wish they'd let us run both of them.
Yeah, but what if your guild leader is like, sleeping, like lives in a different part of the country, and you have... I mean, is there going to be a full 24-hour window for them to opt us in? Like, I'm a little nervous. I'm a little nervous.
Right. Yeah, because we should have like a little bit of time to be able to do that. Yeah, because it's early for me, because I'm on the West Coast in the U.S. and so that's like I don't get up that early.
So it says a Hoth Territory Battles is coming in 3 days.
Yeah, that's what it's. Yeah. So that's why I don't know if because there's nothing indicating that there's going to have the GOTB this time around. I mean, it could be definitely, but I think they're not going to post it as definite because they don't want the same screw up.
Yeah, how do you think
they had with the GAC?
How do you think you're going to choose what you want to do? Do you think it'll be like just the guild leader gets one option or the other? Like, I mean, how is that going to happen?
I don't think so. It's like pick one. The other one gets blocked out.
It could just just have them there and you just hit enter on whichever one.
Yeah.
And I can just see a whole bunch of people accidentally hitting the wrong one.
Well, it'll be the guild leader. They're not going to open that up to.
No, that's what I mean. A whole bunch of people, as in all guild leaders. A lot of guild leaders are going to go. Oh man! I had a little too much last night to drink. Let me press that button, and I hit the wrong one.
Oh no!
And let's see how fast your guild mutinies.
I'm excited to go for Geonosis Territory Battles the first time. I'm sure we're going to take a swing at it and see what happens. We'll see.
Oh yeah. We're looking forward to it.
Creamy.
Pandawan Shishak, SWGOH. What's the Zeta priority order for the Grievous team?
Yes.
B2 first.
Yeah.
No, for real. B2 first.
Oh, really? I thought Metal Monstrosity. I guess with the changes that things up.
You wouldn't say. Is this for the Separatist droid team?
Yeah.
You wouldn't say that Grievous is Zeta for the leaders, or the more important one?
Not for the leader, no.
No,
B1,
B1,
B2 mandatory.
B1, B2. Then it can kind of go down the list.
I think it's Metal Monstrosity. I thought Metal Monstrosity was
Monstrosity's up there.
So I had B1. I had B1 first, and then Metal Monstrosity, and then B2.
B1, B2. Grievous
so good that he dies. So it's like.
Yeah, you kind of need B1. Yeah.
B1 and B2 are mandatory, and then I would do unique in any order of those three agreements.
And then after that, it could be Droideka and Newt or whoever you've got on your team.
The
those
lead
can
for
be
Grievous
last,
is good,
but definitely B1 then B2 at the very least. You want that B1 to be as strong as possible, and he's got to have those extra stacks if you're going to.
IG-100 is unnecessary. He never goes now. He doesn't really get too many turns. IG-100 Zeta is very, very good under a Newt lead, not so much under Grievous. Especially if you're using them defensively, don't put IG-100s on. Droideka's is good, but I would suggest holding off on Droideka until you do have him 7-star. It just doesn't. You don't get really much bang for your buck. Swoops in on assist for 6,000 damage. It's not really Zeta worthy 35% of the time. 7-star, he starts bringing the pain. You get the gear on him, get some good mods on him. He is something else.
Yeah, they're my next team that I'm going to work on once I get Ahsoka squared away. So I've already got Metal Monstrosity. I was going to do B1 next and then B2. But you're thinking I should do B2 first, there, GOM?
Nope.
He provides so much turn meter to the team because that team is slow.
Yes, it is.
But the team is very slow, but now the opposition has no choice but to hit IG-100 first. You can't target B2 first anymore, so he's going to get a turn, going to dispel everything immediately and feed some turn meter, get them going. Grievous, you need B2, B1 all the same, all same. And then Grievous's leadership, close fourth, but that does kind of marry the team together. Grievous does have some other uses, I guess, but that team's very, very good.
Okay.
Can't go wrong. Can't go wrong. Just 4 Zetas for both. Commit 4 Zetas to Grievous and 4 Zetas to Padme at a minimum, I think. Got a few more here. Thought did he forfeited Tarkin? When do you expect Malik and Padme to return from a Star Archive?
Friday.
Malik is going to be soon because I know Malik came out shortly after Darth Revan. So you're looking at about the same amount of time between Darth Revan, which just came out, and Malik, and then Padme. That was not that long ago, I think.
End of July, August will be Padme again.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Probably around August.
I feel like this Darth Revan event came back quicker than normal. Maybe anticipated.
That's why I'm saying the Malik event will be sooner than I thought it would be because it was about 2 days. I think that I thought maybe they'd launch it this past Friday, but I told people I'm hesitant to say that, but I definitely think it's coming this week, either Thursday or Friday. It's going to drop.
It was frustrating, but man, that was fun. I like that event a lot.
Well, the dark side's not a problem; it's the light side that.
And I think now,
brain
we can
aneurysms.
play it again for those of you crazy enough.
I don't think there's a mythic with this. I don't think we get to play it again.
Yeah.
Well, no, but I remember the last one you could beat, and you could continue to play it even after you beat it.
You could. Yeah, I don't think for us we'll have that option yet. There's been other, because other people, legendaries that come back, you can go back in there and do it. I didn't get a chance to go back in and dick around with it, so
that'd be fun to kind of have a speed challenge.
It would.
Or or if you've only got 1 star, you can get it to 3 stars. Because there were some people who were kind of obsessed about the fact that they didn't get the 3 stars.
Sure.
When do you think the Han's Millennium Falcon event is coming back?
July. Somewhere in July. When was the last one? April? Yeah, July.
Got another question. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It seems like it just ended not that long ago. Has it been that long?
This is right around the Padme event, so that's why I'm saying July.
Okay.
I could be wrong on that.
We got Breast McVenom enjoying this Phoenix struggle. Welcome
Well,
Panda says, should we be saving Cantina currency?
for what?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know what you're not working on, but I got a lot of crap still to farm. Not
Well,
much.
I think he means the actual store currency.
Oh yeah, no, I use mine for
Ship
Shard
rates
Store.
every day.
Yeah, I get castings, Ewing, pop it in there. I mean, that's what 95 every pop. So
I mean, they've been pretty clear that they're not going to add anything to those
No, they're
old
not.
stores.
Right, yeah.
I've got
Doesn't mean they won't. I mean, that could be the CG takebacks the other week. It's like, just kidding, guys.
I've got
Put something in there, but
I've got 40K saved up. So if they drop something in there, it's literally overnight.
they're not dropping.
They better drop a character in there tonight.
Dropping Cantina, not the store.
They should drop the negotiator in there.
Yeah, I think it's happening. You already know. Get out of here.
all right, McFly asks a fun one. What are y'all farming now? What's everybody farming?
Oh,
I am farming a combination of ships right now. I'm farming the IG the IG 2000. I'm farming the Emperor's shuttle. I'm farming the Evan Hawk, and I'm farming Anakin's ETA-2 starfighter. But I think I'm about to stop that right now to just start farming B1, because I think that B1 might be more important right now than Anakin's ETA-2 starfighter. So
Yep.
yeah, but that's where I'm at, right? What about you guys?
I'm just farming stun guns and more stun guns and more stun guns,
yeah, God
trying to
help us.
stockpile as much as I can. I don't have anything else to farm. I mean, I'm farmless, other than just gear.
It's a tough life you got there, Avinash.
I'm so sorry about that. Should I purposely?
No,
farm
you don't have
something?
to apologize. No, you better get that damn cup to 12. For me, it's I just finished. I'm so happy that my life changed today. I did Malik 7-star gear 12 plus, so he's done. I took Ahsoka to 12 and Zam to 11. So I'm taking Dengar to 11 as well, and then I'm going to go work on the Separatists. I'm currently farming Range Trooper. He's about to be 7 stars. Orsing, she's about to be 7-star. I've got Jordica and B1 who I'm farming. I've had enough of these farms, so I'm going to start using my crystals to get these damn characters to 7 stars faster. I can't deal with it anymore. I'm sick of getting 0 or 1 on these stupid farms, and then the 2 ships.
Right.
So they're about to be 6 stars. So when Han's Millennium Falcon comes back, I'll at least get it 6 stars, maybe 7. But that's what I'm working on. It's mainly gearing. I mean, those 4 I'm farming, but oh God, it's just stun guns. Because I had a bunch on Malik and Ahsoka and these guys today. I'm like, well, I had stun guns. They're gone now.
Right.
So they're no more. They have ceased to be. So I'm back to farming good old stun. But now that I got Malik done, I can use my get to get those good germs gear again. I'm so happy.
Yeah, it's nice. And then, no longer you have to have a character in your favorites for 3 months.
No, he's gone. He's off. He's
Yeah.
off. So I'm like, get out of here. So
It's nice to be able to finish stuff on the left side off on those gear 12.
So it was such a great feeling. And then I was like, I need stun guns. I can buy them out of the gun store. I'm so happy.
It's been such a great feeling since I got Malik done to be able to start farming stuff out of that store again. You know what I mean? To get stun guns and stuff like that out of there. Yeah, I'm farming a lot of those things too, like the stun cuffs, stun guns, carbantes, just stockpiling massive amounts of those things. Just in case I need them. But what do you guys think is going to be... So, Also, sorry. The other thing I wanted to mention was they changed the way this, where you purchase the gear from the shipments, where you could buy the gear. They moved it to the top instead of having to scroll all the way to the bottom to buy it.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that such an awesome change?
Oh yes.
Threw me completely off when it happened. Where's the gear? What? Where? Oh, there it is. Oh.
Yeah.
I was so delighted. I've hated having to scroll down to get to that gear. Yeah, it's awesome that they changed that. And Maurice, what are you farming right now?
About got the Ebon Hawk, Sith Bomber, and Palpatine ship done. I almost have that. I'm finishing up Django. I'll finally be able to get the Embo soon. Starfighter's getting there, about 5.5 star. If I have any extra currency or energy at the end of the day, I'm just farming those cryotech pieces, just getting them stockpiled.
Same.
Because all the Gear 13 stuff takes those. So I'd like not to have to shell out, 2,800 crystals just to put a piece on. So I'm trying to get a little ahead of the game in that department. Pretty boring stuff. It's pretty methodical every day. Not, just 5, 5, 5, 5.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
All the whole bar at the end. Like it's.
Chubukaki just donated $50 and says, "What should I set a next ally code?" And she gave us her ally code. So let's look up her account.
I'm already looking.
Oh, Zeta. I think she meant Zeta. What should I Zeta next? Is that what you meant? Yeah.
I'm gonna have to.
Fallen Bastila's one. I'm just looking at her account already.
I'm gonna have to defriend somebody. I think Force goes Panda.
No, you can just put her ally code in.
No, not the panda.
Okay, let's put her ally code in.
I'm just looking at her every time I've been doing some of these lately. Speed looks pretty good. Fallen Bastila's missing her Zeta. That's one. Speed looks pretty good. Chubukaki. That sticks out to me.
Okay, so Chibukaki's here, and let's pull up.
I'm just going through her teams real quick to see if anything stands out.
Yeah, I'm looking.
First order. Nope.
First of all, fantastic roster, excellent roster.
Well, it's Chubukaki, for Christ's sakes. I already knew this was going to be like this.
Yeah. So, what's the question? Is here what should she set next as a
Zeta next?
Zeta
yeah.
Next?
I am looking.
I sit on it.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything other than Fallen Bastila. This is the one that stood out to me that you need to get on there. Look at your Separatist.
You got the Galactic Republic team done too.
Yeah, you already checked that one.
So,
I mean, honestly, at this point, she could do Droideka as a possibility.
Jango Fett could be.
She could, but you don't need it. I mean, it's nice, but it's not needed for that team.
This is a tough one. I mean, you have pretty much all the
those are two that pop into my head. Yeah, Fallen Bastila, and maybe Droideka around your Grievous team, but that's really.
What about L3?
I haven't got the Scoundrels yet. Let's look at where she's at for the Curate Stall team.
Possibly Newt Gun. Let's save one maybe for Newt Gunray. That could come in handy. TB. I mean, I would honestly sit on it. The TB comes in 3 days. Just
Kyrus, you got Vandor.
Or Zeta on Imperial Probe Droid.
Do I have L3 Zeta? I don't think I have L3 Zeta. I don't think you need it.
No, I do, and I do, but it works. But it's just L3 and Vandor just kind of like a.
Yeah, they're a package with Kira.
Yeah,
they're on young Han and young Lando, and you got the prepared team.
Yeah.
God, they're so hard to deal with.
I know everyone watching Kansas, but pretty much everything that you could want.
What about Range Trooper and Darth Maul?
No.
Oh, there's Django too.
I wouldn't do Django. No, you don't need it. You don't need it.
I kind of agree. You don't need it.
It's nice if you want to do it, go for it. But I mean, you don't need it.
What about Chirpa and the Ewoks?
How dare you?
Well, she's got the Ewoks. I mean, yeah. That's an option.
You could totally use them in TW.
How dare you, sir?
She's got a good Ewok team. She's got the Wickets. She's got Elder, Chirpa, Paplu. I mean, good squad. So
yeah.
I mean, if I was going to do any Zeta on Jenga, would be his unique before I do his leader.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely. That's what I was thinking.
She's
got to have at least one.
She's thinking maybe Newt Gunray.
I think Newt's fine.
Newt would be good. That would be an excellent one to go with the Separatist team.
Yeah, finish up Phoenix. Maybe go do them. You joking? Ewoks are. I hate the Murder Bears, but they are good. God,
they are good, especially with little Zetas. I had one time taken my little Ewoks into a turn meter charged Treya team and took them down on auto.
Oh yeah. Problem with Ewoks, even with their Zeta, if you can't, you can use them on offense, you cannot put them on defense. Anytime I've faced fully geared 12 Zeta Ewoks, I'm like, have that nest, you lose.
Right? Yeah. I don't put them on defense, but on offense, I didn't. I only had the Zeta on Chirpa and Wicket.
That's enough.
And then the rest of them just went to town on Treya and the team, and it was awesome.
Yeah. So it has its uses. I've seen Ewoks clear a lot of squads on offense, but a lot of gear. Good lord! But for you, Chupacaki, you could do that if you haven't got them squared away. Those are some of the ideas. Get that one on Fallen Bash. That was the one I would definitely get on. Her Zetas are so ridiculously good.
Yeah.
I cannot stress how important that Zeta is for Fallen Basti. And not just for, if let's say you're feeling frothy and you want to go a different direction, you can go put her with Treya, or you can put her with Palpatine. I mean, you could, Jesus, she's so good.
She could also do old Daka or Colonel Stark as well.
She said say Newt or Django or something else.
How about Fallen Basila? Don't ask me my opinion. I'm going to say what you need to hear. That was Chupacaki ain't playing that game.
I personally think Django. That's my opinion. I
think for Fallen Basila, no way.
I think L3 would be a good one.
Yeah, I could see one.
L3 or even T3.
Sit on it is my vote.
Yeah, either fall.
Yeah, you can do that too,
or sit on it like Maurice said. Yeah, that's good. Or fall and bass.
Yeah, save them up, man. Yeah.
Darkside Territory Battles is new and it's 3 days away. Let's just. I would suggest waiting and seeing what you need. New Gunray Zeta could be awesome. Django Zeta could be awesome. Who knows? We don't even know what the enemies on the other side are going to have. Right. They have like a bunch of revive mechanics.
You really can't go wrong though either way. Like if she does New Gunray, Bastila, or Django, I mean, it's not like it's a bad Zeta.
No.
The only reason I'm steering away from Bastila is just because she's consistently getting rank 1 already in Arena. That's the only reason I didn't mention Bastila.
Yeah.
Zeta.
Yeah, I mean, that potency. I mean, people go, it's just potency. 50% potency is not something. I mean, are you kidding me? Especially when you're facing other Darth Revens. That crap comes into play big time.
So, Chupacaki, we apologize for probably making that decision process for you more difficult now.
It wasn't difficult for me.
Yeah.
Well, actually, she and I have literally almost exactly the same GP.
Nice.
Maybe you guys get
and that's not my big account either.
I would say Chupacaki that you have a pretty good idea of what you need, and it's going to be based upon your preference. I don't think you can go wrong either way. So if you decide to go with Newt or Django, those are good calls. And like Ranger said, Fallen Bastila is a good choice. Like Abby said, L3 I think would also be a good choice. I think those are just a handful that you could go with next. And again, you wouldn't be making a mistake. So Old Doc is another option, like I said. So there's a few options that you have. I would go with what makes you feel most comfortable, though, because again, if you kind of have your mind set on a specific character, you'll be disappointed if you don't get that. So I mean, again, it's you're not in a situation where if you pick the wrong Zeta here, it's going to be detrimental to you. So I think you just kind of go with your gut, or we're kind of coming up to a point here in the game where in probably the next 2 to 3 weeks, we're going to get new characters, we're going to get new game modes, we're going to get a whole bunch of new stuff. It doesn't hurt to wait 2 or 3 weeks either. It's not going to make a difference, and just see what happens, and then you make your decision after you see all the pieces on the board. That makes a little sense too, I think. But that's my opinion, at least. But really, really nice roster, Shubakaki. Very nice. Yeah.
Our DSP has one more question. Is Snoke a Sith? And Star Wars Theory says he's not dead. Question mark.
We don't know, so that's why it's a theory. So we don't know what Snoke is. Nobody knows. And if he's not dead, then that's pretty impressive. How did you live through sliced in half? So I'd like to see how that works.
Well, Star Wars Theory, probably he's not really the type of channel that just jumps out. Like I watch a lot of Star Wars channels, okay, and there are guys that literally just make videos for the sake of like they're just clickbait. They're old videos where where it's like Snoke.
So I don't watch them anymore.
Snoke kills Kylo Ren in Episode 9. It's like what?
It's been reported allegedly that someone said to someone else. It's like what? Get the hell out.
But Star Wars Theory is the type of dude that actually like he doesn't put out stuff like that unless he thinks it's pretty concrete. So I would say if he says
he's been wrong before.
He's been wrong before, but I would say that if he thinks that it's legit, that it at least has like some merit in my eyes, anyway. But we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I don't know. I think that the real rumor right now that's going out there is that Palpatine will somehow transfer his essence into another person, and somehow he survived. His spirit has survived this whole time, and he's gonna somehow transfer his essence into a younger body, which has totally happened in the comic books and in
it's legit. Legends. I mean, it's a Sith technique in the Legends. Revan first, I think, learns about it through Vitiate, and then it's passed down, and then it's learned that from Sith that you can transfer your spirit and essence to another, right?
Yeah.
It's been in the books all over the place, so there you go.
Well, it's not spoilers. I mean, we don't know any of this stuff. So
we don't know that. That's straight out of the. We pulled that one.
This is just.
It wouldn't be shocking. It's been in the books and stuff. I mean, it's not like I would be shocked if something like that happened, but that's not.
I mean, we're all walking into that movie with, I read spoilers, and I kind of heard what was going to happen with Game of Thrones before it did, but I'm glad I did, to be honest with you, because that was such a disappointment that at least I got a chance to when I saw the leaks, I was like, okay, at least now I was able to kind of prepare myself. If I had seen it live, I would have been so upset. It would have been ridiculous. So I just, I was able to kind of prepare myself for what I saw. But listen, at the end of the day, we're all just going to be going in there guessing as to what's going to be happening. I'm sure they're going to have to figure out some way to bring back Palpatine that makes sense, and that is one way that makes sense. And there's also comics going on right now, about Vader and things like that also kind of deal with essence transfer as well. There's an old Sith Lord named Momin that kind of transfers his essence, and if he's able to do it, and Palpatine, I think in the grand scheme of things, will probably be a more I would say a more legendary Sith Lord than Momin is. So I think if Momin can do it, then Palpatine can probably do it as well.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's typically the Jedi could come back to the Force as ghosts. Sith could not because of the dark side. They had to be tied to some kind of object, either through a holocron, their burial site. You can go back and look through Exar Kun, all kinds of sarcophagus that they were tied to. They couldn't get away from there unless they actually took over somebody, and that's been in the books before too. I mean, so you can go back and read all that stuff. How Sith used their afterlife to kind of live on. So.
Well, there isn't. They aren't technically Force ghosts. Okay, so there are.
Oh no,
you can't
there's difference.
You can't be a Force ghost Sith, but you can somehow like I mean even
a
in
spirit,
the
spirit, but it's very limited. So limited to an object. It's kind of like being a lich in a sense that your actual soul is tied to some sort of device, object, something that is in existence that you cannot get away from unless you transfer your spirit to another. Now, the problem with that is that you better have a stronger will than that person, because if you make that attempt and you fail, then your spirit actually disappears into the nothingness of the. It's a big risk.
I think that whenever if Palpatine does do some sort of an essence transfer, there will be some sort of limitations. Like he's not just gonna be able to run out there, like when he was alive the first time and just be just kind of. There's gonna be some restrictions that he has, right? So it's we'll see what that is, but I think that the closer he is to that Death Star piece that we saw in the trailer,
sure, will
probably be the more powerful that he is, so we'll see, but nonetheless. I think it's interesting to kind of think about what could happen, but there's always theories, and the theories get crazy. So I mean,
I know.
You can speculate a lot, but it gets kind of tough at some point to really determine what's realistic and what's not. So we'll see. Maurice, do we have any more questions?
No, I'm glad you guys took charge of that one. I couldn't have even answered that. That was good.
That's why I need to watch my damn lore videos, Maurice.
Well, you haven't done one on Snoke, man.
Well, there's nothing on Snoke, so I can't do one on a character that has no backstory, really.
I think we will get Snoke in the game. I think Snoke will happen either around when the movie's coming out or shortly afterwards. But I think, it depends on... I'm sure they're waiting on how they're going to utilize him in the movies. Like if that's really the last that we've ever seen of Snoke, then I think that they'll just release him at some point as as a marquee character. Like he won't be a big deal. You know what I'm saying? But
he better not be, because he was just freaking lame.
Well,
no backstory, no nothing.
I think the Praetorian Guards will make their way into the game at some point, and I think Snoke will. And then whatever happens in this movie, whatever version of Palpatine that we get, I'm sure we'll get something like that. That'll be cool too, if he has some powers and stuff.
Right.
I'm looking forward to that. And maybe a version of Luke too. I mean, I'm pretty sure that if we're gonna get the Force essence of Palpatine, that we're gonna get the Force essence of Luke and him going at it at some point. If they actually make a movie where they bring back Palpatine and they don't have Palpatine face off against Luke Skywalker, that would be the biggest letdown in the history of Star Wars. Bigger than The Last Jedi by far. I mean, to me, if they don't capitalize on that opportunity for them to have some sort of a duel or a fight or something.
An epic battle.
Oh man, I want to see some Luke Skywalker, something. Please, just give me something with Luke. Anyway, all right, so we're going to go ahead and wrap it up here, guys. It's been a wonderful stream. I really appreciate all of the feedback, all of the chat, all the donations. Thank you so much to DSP, to Chubukaki, of course. Thank you so much for the donations, and to Dr. Gonzo as well. Thank you to everybody for sharing your thoughts. Bigger letdown than Luke dying by using the Force. I guess you're right. That is actually pretty big letdown, But listen. I don't want to get into The Last Jedi because I could talk for another 45 minutes about how much I dislike some of the choices they made in that movie. But But yeah, so, hopefully it's good. Either way, I'm excited for it. They did get me with that trailer, and, we'll see how it turns out. They got the hype back for me a little bit, and, I'm excited to see what happens in the coming months. I'm sure we'll get some sort of insight with, maybe a new trailer and possibly some more, characters and things like that in the game that'll kind of hint towards what's coming in the future. So we'll see what happens, but... again, make sure to check out the live show on Tuesday night on the Operation Metaverse channel, hosted by good old Maurice and TMoney. A link to their channel is in the description. Please make sure to follow that and go check out their stream on Tuesday night. And on Wednesday night, make sure to go check out the live show on the Reality Skewed Gamers channel, hosted by Ranger and Finity and the RSG crew. So that is also linked in the description, and that will be on Wednesday night. But the Jedi Academy will be next Saturday, and we will be back again with another Alliance live show next Sunday. So I look forward to talking to you guys then. I appreciate everybody hanging out with us late tonight. But we'll talk to you guys soon. May the Force be with you, and have a good evening. Talk to you guys later. See you on the next one.